The air hung heavy with the scent of salt and fear. A ship, flying a foreign flag, cut through the dark waters towards the Indian coast. On board, the crew, hardened men from the shores of West Africa, spoke in hushed tones. They were bringing in their illicit cargo, their faces grim under the moonlight. This was not their first clandestine visit, nor would it be their last. They had found willing partners in crime on these shores. Local leaders, their pockets lined with ill-gotten gains, awaited the ship's arrival. They were the wolves in sheep's clothing, their greed a disease that gnawed at the nation's core. The smugglers thrived under their protection, their illegal trade flourishing in the darkness. The law, it seemed, held no power in this den of shadows. The coast is clear. The shipment will arrive at the designated spot. No one will interfere.
You have my gratitude, and the chieftain will have yours.
The authorities are powerless against us. We are the law here. No one dares to challenge us. Far from the stench of corruption, Pawan Kalyan, a man of the people, a hero to the masses, enjoyed a rare moment of peace. He was playing with his son, their laughter echoing through the house. His son, his pride and joy, was the center of his world. He would move mountains to keep him safe.
Pawan, the phone!
Suddenly, the shrill ringing of the phone shattered the idyllic scene. Pawan Kalyan's face hardened as he listened to the voice on the other end. "They're here! The smugglers! They're back!" Pawan Kalyan's eyes turned flinty, his jaw clenched tight. He rose to his feet, his movements swift and decisive. He was a man of action, a protector of the innocent. He would not stand idly by while criminals poisoned his land. He strode out of the house, his face a mask of grim determination. His walk was purposeful, his every step radiating an aura of power. He was a lone wolf, ready to take on a pack. The smugglers had made a grave mistake. They had underestimated their adversary. The local leaders watched from the shadows as the smugglers loaded their cargo onto waiting trucks. The air was thick with the smell of diesel and the promise of betrayal. They had played their part, now it was time for their reward. "Everything is going according to plan," the local leader said, his voice laced with greed. "Soon, we will be swimming in riches." The smugglers, their faces hidden behind balaclavas, said nothing. They had no loyalty to these men, only a shared greed that bound them together. Once the transaction was complete, they would disappear into the night, leaving the local leaders to deal with the aftermath. Section 6. The Hunter's Instinct. Pawan Kalyan arrived at the port, his eyes scanning the scene. The air was thick with the smell of salt and something else, something illicit. He could sense the presence of evil, like a predator sensing its prey. He spotted the Coast Guard, their faces etched with fear and uncertainty. They were outmatched, outgunned, and out of their depth. But Pawan Kalyan saw something else in their eyes, a flicker of hope, a yearning for justice. Section 7. Courage Ignited. Pawan Kalyan. "We have to stop them. They are poisoning our land, corrupting our people. We cannot let them win." The Coast Guard hesitated, their fear palpable. They had heard the stories, the rumors of the smugglers' ruthlessness. But Pawan Kalyan's words, his unwavering belief in them, ignited a spark of courage in their hearts. Section 8. Justice on the Waves. The chase was on. The Coast Guard, their fear replaced by a burning desire for justice, pursued the smugglers' ship. The smugglers, caught off guard, scrambled to escape, their arrogance giving way to panic. The sea raged, the waves crashing against the hulls of the boats. But Pawan Kalyan, his resolve unwavering, urged the Coast Guard onward. Finally, after a tense standoff, the smugglers, outmaneuvered and outgunned, surrendered. Justice had prevailed. Section 9. The Final Showdown. But Pawan Kalyan knew this was not the end. The smugglers were just pawns in a much larger game. The real criminals, the ones who had orchestrated this entire operation, were still out there. He turned his steely gaze towards the city, towards the heart of the corruption. Pawan Kalyan. Now, it's time to deal with the snakes in the grass.